Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another match review. Very, very interesting one today. Obviously, the game did end between Cheltenham and Port Vale, 3-2 to Cheltenham. Although, well, there's a lot to talk about, so I'll just get straight into it. So, first 20 minutes, we were absolutely fantastic. Probably first 5 minutes, Port Vale actually started the better side. But then we really dominated, and to be fair, from the 5th minute to the 30th, we could have scored about 3 or 4 alone. We got 2 in the end from an Alfie May strike in the 14th minute and also a Scott Brown own goal in the 18th. Obviously, ex-Cheltenham. He was very unlucky, to be fair, with the second goal because Alfie May has absolutely smashed it on the half volley into the crossbar and it's just come off at the bottom of his back and gone in. So that's really unfortunate for him. Obviously, as a Cheltenham fan, as a, ex-Cheltenham player who was fantastic for us. So, that's unfortunate for him. And then, rest of the second half probably should have scored more. But, we went in at half-time 2-0 up, looking pretty confident. And then the second half, from the 45th minute to about the 80th, or maybe even the 85th, we were by far the better side. And again, we could have scored about 3 more. We only got 1. It was a very nice shot from Circum, and, it was a bit dodgy, but it was fantastic. He volleyed it into the ground, and it looped back up into the air and hit the crossbar and went over Scott Brown and into the top left-hand corner. It was a nice strike. Whether he meant it to go there or not doesn't really matter, because it ended up being the winning goal. Obviously, 83rd minute, Swan gave Port Vale hope with, an open goal finish, really, but this is when Port Vale started to perform because just 2 minutes later, Hurst also fired pretty much an identical shot from the other side of the goal as the first goal for Port Vale. And then it was a very tense last few minutes, obviously, with 7 minutes added on. It was very, very interesting. And I think the problem is, going into the last, 10 to 15 minutes, we could have been about 5 or 6-0 up, and that's not an understatement, At times today, credit to Port Vale, because at times today, for where they're in the league, they were brilliant. And it's a bit weird because even in the period where they scored the goals, they seem to be more breakaway goals than anything. And I was looking at the responses to the game on Twitter from the Vale fans, and they seem to agree with what I've just said because they were the dominant side from the 83rd to the last kick of the game, pretty much. But they didn't really look. They lacked quality, if I'm being honest. I think our defence in the last 10 minutes just struggled to deal with the balls in behind, and that's what I think Port Vale are absolutely brilliant at, is that through ball in behind, and they threaded it through time after time in the last 10 minutes, and we did manage to lock onto that towards the end, but credit where credit's due to Port Vale, because they did nearly make the comeback, but for a Cheltenham point of view, we should have finished off the game 60 minutes in. The game should have been dead and buried, maybe even before half time, because we were absolutely fantastic up until, the 75th minute when we scored. I think, that's, if you account for the 75 minutes that we were absolutely brilliant for, that's probably the best performance we've had this season. Last 10 minutes, we went back to our shaky selves. And that's where we need to use that as a learning curve, because the players just switched off, to be honest. But, credit to Port Vale, they stuck at it, and, they did get their goals, and they stayed patient. They waited for us to crack, which they know we can. Other sides know we can. And they got 2 goals, and unfortunately for them, they didn't equalise, but very fortunately for us. It's really difficult to give a man of the match today. I think May was fantastic. Smith was brilliant as well. Raglan was unbelievable. Tozer was decent. Blair was good. Callum Wright again was absolutely brilliant today. It really is difficult. I actually don't think I can give a man of the match, if I'm being honest with you. I think Griffiths was good. Griffiths had a good game. I genuinely, I think this is the first time I actually haven't been able to put a name for a man of the match, because for those 80 minutes, everyone was absolutely brilliant. So, credit to the whole team. And they deserved the win. I think we did deserve the win. But yeah, Port Vale stayed professional. They stuck at it, and they definitely won't go down this season, I think. even though they are down there, there's nowhere they are going down, because at the end of the day, if they stay patient like they did in this game, and they wait for teams to crack, and they take their chances, which they did, then they'll definitely stay up. And, just quickly, before I end off the video, you look at the stats. 11 shots for Port Vale, same as us. 6 of them on target as well. And that shows that, in that last 10 minutes to 15 minutes, they did take a lot of chances. And they were clinical, because they scored 2 of those 6 shots on target. So credit to them once again. But yeah, a big 3 points. We still sit in first place. Obviously, Forest Green beat Grimsby. Unfortunately, Cambridge did beat Walsall with the last kick of the game. But the upsides, Tranmere lost. And obviously, Morecambe did win again. However, they do have one more game played than us and Forest Green. So we are looking to be in quite a good position, I think. If we've got some big games coming up with the likes of Mansfield away, Exeter away, some very, very big games. I really can't see where we're going to be at the end of this month. Hopefully, we stay in the automatics, because if we can, we've won 4 on the bounce now. If we can keep that going, I do think that we will go up through the automatics, but it's too early to say anything. But again, good performance today, and we did see it out, but it was very close, and I'm sure every fan from both clubs was on the edge of their seats. But yeah, feel free to comment down below in the comment section your thoughts on the game, as always. It's always like to see your thoughts. But yeah, once again, very tense, very tight. But yeah, we'll go on to the next one. Take every game as it comes. That's what Duffo's been saying. Just play every individual game as it happens, and the rest of the results from the other teams will care for themselves. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all very much for 500 subscribers once again. I'm never going to stop thanking you at this rate. But yeah, have a class rest of the day, lads, and I'll see you in the next one.